not about what I want anymore, Mitzi. It's about making the best of what I have.
This is how you do a villain, what the heck? This year, something very special happened. And no, I'm not talking about your boy J Films finally starting Gilmore Girls, even though that was pretty cool too. I'm talking about in March, we got a new horror movie X, it slapped, and then 6 months later, we got a prequel for the same movie. How good of a villain though is the star of X and Pearl? Pearl? Let's look at what makes her tick and give her score 1 out of 10. Also, give me Christmas villains. I need a Christmas villain to review next week, so do that, please. Thank you in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but Pearl is a star. Growing up on a farm with her mother and father, Pearl is forced to live in a life of chores, dung, pitchforks, and cock. She spends most of her time with farm animals, but she'd much rather be pursuing a dancing career because she feels like she's got what it takes. She's got a husband named Howard too, but he's fighting in the war, so they only ever communicate through the occasional letter. No husband, no dancing, no fun. It sounds like Footloose. Pearl hates the farm life, but her overbearing mother really won't let her do anything else. Eventually, she's seduced by a local projectionist who tells her, hey, listen, I'll take you to Europe with me to pursue dancing. And on top of that, there's a big time dance audition in town. So Pearl gets some confidence and decides she's gonna audition. Only thing is her mom says, nah, fuck you. Pearl kills her mom, her dad, and when her side piece gets suspicious of Pearl, he gets killed too. Pearl does some more killing. In fact, the only thing she doesn't kill in this movie is her audition, because apparently they want someone younger and blonder. Yeah, at the end of this movie, Pearl is, how do I say this? She's batshit crazy. In the movie X, she trades her life of chores and pitchforks and cock for a life of what she thinks are horrors and, well, cock. When a group of young naughty filmmakers comes to town, in comes Pearl to go to town on said naughty coming filmmakers. Jealous that she's not young and beautiful anymore, Pearl takes her frustration out with what she knows best, and that's murder. Yeah, them kids are about to see ghosts real quick, because they're gonna be ghosts. They're gonna die. I love the origin for Pearl. The motive is solid. It's good enough in X, but when you add in Pearl, I think it's phenomenal. Something is clearly wrong with Pearl mentally, but when you add in the very difficult home life, it does not help her situation. Maybe she was a good enough dancer to make it, but she just never got a fair chance. Maybe she's a young creative who's dreaming too big. What I like about this character is that there's just so much depth to her. You really can feel everything that shaped this person into the villain she becomes. Hit after hit, she just took so much and eventually snapped. She based her whole identity all around, I need a chance to escape, and if I get that chance, I can escape this life. And when she gets that chance, nothing changes. She's a bad person, yeah, but in Pearl especially, you can't help but feel bad for her. In X, you have a character who invokes that fear of getting old, and that's a very unique motive. It's something sure to make you think about that aspect of your life when you're watching the movie. Such a phenomenal way to show the background of a character. And I actually think that Pearl as a movie is the perfect example of how to do villain backstory prequels. It's fantastic stuff.
Tell me
the truth! Why are you leaving me? What did you say? Why did you change?
You're scaring me, Pearl.
Pearl is a tragic character. She's a character who you always feel bad for, and even when she's doing the bad stuff, with her backstory in mind, it's sad just to see this person that she's become. She has hopes and dreams, and one by one, you just watch them all get crushed. And granted, she never helps the situations, but like, man, it's sad. You want to see her get a win to boost that confidence, but it never happens. And if you watch X first, you have to watch Pearl knowing this bright-eyed girl takes every loss she possibly can. It's a great way to make sure you feel bad for the villain without justifying or excusing her actions. Like, yeah, she takes a lot of L's, but she also kills her parents, her sister-in-law, and a lot more. There's a moment in Pearl where you're just like, a normal person wouldn't do that, right? And those moments are important because they distance Pearl from being a redeemable and good person. But it all makes moments like her not getting the audition pretty sad to watch. Mia Goth is so good as Pearl. It's a character I don't think anyone else really could have played. She portrays the hopeful dreamer just as well as the snapped Pearl, just as good as she does the old horny lady going on a murder rampage. She's a character who can be scary and unsettling one moment, and then sympathetic the next. A very good character in both movies, one of 2022's best. Pearl is in almost every scene in Pearl, and every moment feels like it adds something to her character. It adds to her relationship with her parents, her dreams, the desperation and monotony of this life she's trapped in. They're all great moments, they're all fantastic scenes. In X, the nature of Pearl's scenes are different, but they're still pretty good. You get a lot of those moments with her frustration and jealousy rising. When she starts killing people, it instantly takes you back to the girl we see in Pearl. Someone who resorts to killing just to get her emotions out, almost as if it's never stopped being her default way of this excess negative emotion. I love the scene in X where she takes Maxine through the house. It gives us so much insight into her past, but as we see in Pearl, some of what she says isn't even true. She's never given up on that belief that she was special, and it plays perfectly into Maxine's character, who's also played by Goth. Pearl has some awesome scenes though. A lot of them can be difficult to watch, but they're all memorable. When she kills the projectionist, that's something, all right. This is Pearl snapping to the highest extent. She's scared of being abandoned and not being desired, and it drives her to do what she always falls back on: murder. It is a crazy memorable scene. The audition is also great. You get a taste of what Pearl sees herself as, this dancer who's talented and loved by all, but when that dream is shattered with a rejection, she almost can't take it. This scene paired with an amazing monologue in the end. I can't do these scenes justice. Please go watch Pearl. It's crazy good movie.
Felt good. Killing's easier than you'd think.
There's a lot here. Pearl does a lot of bad, and while I've been saying it's sad to see her become this person, this is still Villain Review. She's still the main character in Pearl, but she's still the villain. She's messing everything up for everyone. She's killing, doing all this crazy stuff. Let's run through the worst things. Kills her mom in a very inhumane way. Kills her handicapped father, who did nothing to deserve it. She kills the projectionist. Howard's sister cheats on him. Kills farm animals. Okay, that's just Pearl. In X, she films a secret porn cameo without permission. Not cool. That's gonna make IMDb listings complicated. She kills RJ, Wayne, Bobby Lynn, and she gets Howard to kill a kid named Cuddy and she sends Jen Ortega out with a bang. Or like Howard does, and not in the kind of bang Kid Cudi was doing earlier. Like, this one's a lot worse. She ties up a dude for crazy, like, I don't think I can say the word on here, but the point is she's messed up, okay? She's still very much a villain. We're still rooting against her. Don't watch these movies with your parents, okay? Given the special circumstances of a villain getting 2 movies in 6 months, we get a very special kind of villain that doesn't come around too often. The movie of Pearl gives its title character so much depth and complexity that makes a rewatch of X even better. I do not remember the last time an original horror movie that's great in its own right gave its villain their own prequel film. It paid off terrifically though, because Pearl is a fantastic villain in all areas. Mia Goth is fantastic. I'm gonna give Pearl a 9. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. I make a new villain review analysis every single Monday. Best characters of 2022, list coming soon.